Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled between rolling hills and fertile lands, lived two neighboring farmer families, the Parkers and the Sevestans. They were not just neighbors, but also the closest of friends, known for their honesty, kindness, and hard work. Kevin Parker lived with his wife Sarah and their two children, John and Emily. Beside them lived Peter Sevestan with his wife Hannah and their son Henry. Kevin was a skilled fruit and vegetable farmer, while Peter grew rice and grain crops. Both were masters of their trade, producing high-quality harvests year after year and selling them at fair prices. John and Henry, the sons of Kevin and Peter, were inseparable. They walked to school together, studied side by side, played under the blue skies, and shared everything from toys to laughter. Henry loved visiting John and Emily's house, where Sarah always prepared delicious food and treated Henry like her own. Hannah, in turn, brought sweets and toys for John and Emily, showering them with affection. The Parkers enjoyed their meals as a family, feeding each other and sharing stories around the table. At night, Kevin and Sarah would read bedtime stories to their children before tucking them in. The Sevestans, meanwhile, followed strict dining manners and maintained a disciplined lifestyle, going to bed early and waking with the sun. One sunny day, young John and Henry wandered to the fields. While John rolled around and played among the crops, Henry preferred calm and quiet. He invited John to play chess with him beneath the cool shade of a large mango tree standing at the edge of the field. Their different personalities complemented each other, deepening their bond. Years passed, and the boys grew into fine young men. Henry, now a tall and handsome man like his father, followed in Peter's footsteps and excelled at farming. John, too, became a respected farmer, compassionate and wise like Kevin. In time, John and Henry both married, and their parents, Kevin and Peter, finally fulfilled their lifelong dream of taking an adventurous world tour. As the old friends set off on their journey, they left behind sons who had grown into men with homes of their own. Henry, despite loving his wife, always sought perfection in her and often complained. John, on the other hand, loved his wife wholeheartedly and accepted her as she was. He never criticized her, even when one evening she served him cabbage soup with a strand of hair in it while she was unwell. He ate quietly, grateful for her efforts. OHN was a supportive husband. He helped with chores, washed dishes, cleaned clothes, styled his wife's hair, and even helped her put on socks and shoes when she felt tired. Their love was mutual and deep. Henry, however, became harsh over time. No matter what his wife did, he remained unsatisfied. Eventually, hurt and heartbroken, she left and returned to her mother's home. Kevin tried to explain to Peter the importance of women in one's life, how a mother gives birth, a sister shares childhood joy, and a wife stands beside you when the world turns its back. But Henry, stubborn and prideful, ignored John's advice and chose to live life on his own terms. The years rolled by, and the once young boys grew into old men. One quiet afternoon, John visited Henry and was heartbroken to find his old friend lying weak and lonely on his bed, lost in memories of his wife. John held his friend's hand. Henry, with tears in his eyes, whispered, "You were right, my friend. Family is everything. One cannot live alone forever. Now look at me, I am all alone." With those words, he closed his eyes forever. John wept bitterly, mourning the loss of a friend who had once shared his childhood. A year later, John too fell ill. Doctors gave him only a few weeks to live. One serene morning, as the sun gently lit up the room, John lay surrounded by his loving family. His wife held his hand as he smiled one last time and quietly took his final breath, surrounded by love, leaving behind a legacy of kindness, patience, and understanding. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel.